The quality of relationships, both personal and business, is built on trust. As mentioned before, trust is the product of integrity, competence, concern, and dependability. Having looked at integrity for 2 weeks, we now turn our attention to competence. King David's ability to gain the trust and be a successful leader is summed up beautifully by Asaph in Psalm 78, verse 72. David cared for his people with a faithful and honest heart. With skilled hands, he led them. David led his people with his integrity and his competence. John Maxwell, the leadership guru, puts it this way: David's excellent leadership combined both heart and art. Integrity without competence or competence without integrity are sure recipes for failure. When we read the Bible, we realize that skills are not some type of cosmetic that people put on and take off. It's much more important. It's the element that enables a person to live out God's calling for their life. Can we imagine the following people being able to live out their calling without possessing competency? Imagine Moses without his skills of delegation that he learned from his father-in-law Jethro. Or Nehemiah without the ability to manage projects and people. Or Paul without his exceptional communication skills that led to the spread of spiritual truth for his readers. Yes, competencies have played an important part in these individuals fulfilling their God-given calling. Competency is the ability to know and define what needs to be done and then to plan it and actually do it or get it done. Without competency, it is impossible to increase trust and credibility among your followers. Jesus also highlights the importance of competency in the two stories found in Luke 14, where the protagonists don't have it. The first story is of a builder who lacks the competencies of planning, budgeting, and executing, but begins a tower building project. Due to his lack of competencies, the tower never gets finished, and he becomes an object of ridicule. The second story is of a king who lacks the competencies to assess the strength of his army versus his enemy's army. Despite this, he threatens to go to battle and does so. But very soon he realizes he has made a wrong call and has no option other than to call for a face-saving truce. In simple words, competence is being good at doing something. It involves knowing what to do and knowing how to do it. Both knowledge and skill together result in competency. For example, if I am asked to paint a wall, I must know how to paint a wall, and equally important is to know which wall to paint. Otherwise, I may end up painting the wrong wall, or I may paint the correct wall but very badly. Both results are the fruit of incompetency. Competency does not happen overnight. It's developed over a period of time and with consistent practice. The single slingshot that brought Goliath down was not a one-off shot. David must have been using his sling for years to protect his sheep before he brought Goliath down. I believe competency also grows when the paradoxical phrase, positive dissatisfaction, is an integral part of all we do. Jim Collins famously said, "Good is the enemy of great." In other words, if you're satisfied with good, you'll never aspire to be great. To improve our competency, we must have this kind of positive dissatisfaction and always aspire to improve. While being competent is so important both for our ability and credibility, there are times I have lacked confidence in my competence to do something. In those not so infrequent times of hesitancy, There's a verse that strengthens me, a verse that helps me attempt things beyond my known capabilities and helps me stretch my competency muscle. And that is 2 Corinthians 3 4 5. It says, "Such confidence we have through Christ before God, not that we are competent in ourselves to claim anything for ourselves, but our competence comes from God." As we journey on the road to build trust, may our confidence be in Christ and our competence come from God. God bless you.